Hello students, welcome back to business statistics class. I hope everyone is safe. So let us start with today's class. I hope you guys remember what I had taught in your previous class. So in previous class we had discussed about binomial distribution, what is the PMF, some important properties and also few examples of binomial variate. Today we will study the problems. Before that, let me quickly revise the probability mass function of binomial distribution. It is given as P of x is equal to NCx P raised to x Q raised to n minus x, and the range of x is 0, 1, 2 up to so on till n, and P lies between 0 and 1 and Q is 1 minus P. Here please note, when they ask probability mass function, it is always denoted as small p of x. Don't write capital P of x. So this is probability. If you write small p of x, then it is probability mass function. Please go through your third semester random variable notes where the clear definition of probability mass function is given. So write it as small p of x, and I hope you guys remember how to calculate combination, which is NCx. Let me repeat the formula for combination, which is n factorial divided by n minus x factorial into x factorial. There we might have used NCR, here it is NCx, the formula remains the same. And please note here it is p raised to x, not p into x. I have seen many of you guys will write it as p into x. It is in power, that is p raised to. Don't write it beside p, write it above p. And similarly q is, it is q raised to n minus x. And whenever they will ask question based on binomial distribution or Poisson distribution, any distribution PMF, you have to write this range. It is very important. If you don't write it, they will not give full marks. So when PMF is asked, write the definition and write its PMF along with the limits. So here the variable x is discrete and it is called binomial variate. We know binomial probability distribution is a discrete probability distribution. So this distribution is very easy if you remember this PMF, which is NCx p raised to x into q raised to n minus x. And in the questions, if you understand what is p, what is n, if you understand few concepts, that is when at least is given how to calculate, at most we will see all those in further classes. So if you understand these simple terms, then binomial distribution is very easy. All you have to do is you have to substitute the given values and find out the probabilities. So it is very easy. So we will see how to write binomial distribution PMF. So we know binomial distribution. So I'll be writing binomial distribution as b dot d. So you guys write it completely, which is binomial distribution. So binomial distribution with probabilities n and p can also be written as, so here p of x is the PMF. We will substitute the values of x. So we know x lies between 0 to n. Here wherever you have x, substitute values as 0, 1, 2, so on till n. So that is written over here. So when x is 0, PMF will be, that is p of x, in place of x we will put 0. So it will be NC0 p raised to 0 q raised to n minus 0. Similarly when x is 1, then p of x will be NC1 p raised to 1 q raised to n minus 1, and so on till n. So here the last term is x equal to n. So the PMF will be NCn p raised to n q raised to n minus n, or this will be n minus n is 0. So q raised to 0 is 1. It will be NCn into p raised to n. So when we can write the PMF as this also. This and this are same. Here they have given the range of x as 0 to n. Here they have substituted the values of x. So now let us see one example how to write binomial distribution when n, p values are given. We know binomial distribution parameters are n and p. So here they have given n equal to 2 and p equal to 1 by 2 or 0.5. We can denote it as b of 2 comma 1 by 2. Here 2 is n and p is 1 by 2. So now we will see how to write it. So x takes value 0 to n, we know it. Here n they have given 2. Therefore x will take values 0, 1, 2. If they had given n equal to 7, then x will be taking values from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. If n was 3, then x would take the value 0, 1, 2. So I hope this is understood how to take x values. Now we will see the PMF. So when x is 0, then P of x will be 2C0. Why 2? Because in place of n we are substituting 2. So it will be 2C0 into P is 1 by 2. So it is 1 by 2 raised to 0. And we know Q is 1 minus P. So 1 by 2 is 0.5. So 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5 or 1 by 2. So Q and P are 1 by 2. Therefore 2C0 1 by 2 raised to 0 into 1 by 2 raised to 2. We got 2 in the power because it is n minus x. In place of n substitute 2, in place of x it is 0. So this you can simplify using your calculators. So 1 by 2 raised to 0 is 1. 1 by 2 raised to 2 is nothing but 0.5 into 0.5. So you simplify this 2C0, it will be 2 factorial divided by 2 minus 0 factorial into 0 factorial. 0 factorial is 1. So this 2 factorial will get cancelled. So we will get the answer as 1. So next, when x is 1, again in the similar way just substitute wherever x is there, put it as 1. Then calculate 2C1. Then it is 0.5 into 0.5, we will get 1 by 2. Similarly, when x is 2, you will get P of x as 1 by 4. So you guys try this and see if P of x is 1 by 4, 1 by 2 and 1 by 4 for x equal to 0, 1 and 2. So then the next note is always remember summation of P of x from x0 to n is always equal to 1. The proof of this note is not a part of your syllabus, but if you are interested to know, then you can search it by doing binomial expansion. But remember this, always the sum of the PMF will be equal to 1. Here x is from 0 to n because that is the range of binomial distribution. The third note is, suppose a binomial variate is observed n times. Here binomial variate is nothing but your x. If x is observed for n number of times, then the theoretical frequencies of occurrence of the values 0, 1, 2 up to so on till n are given by the frequency function Tx equal to n into P of x. Here n into, we know P of x is nothing but the PMF of binomial distribution. Just write it, NCx P raised to x into Q raised to n minus x. Then you will get the theoretical frequencies of occurrence. You just remember this, we will be using in solving the problems. So with this brief introduction, we will start with problems. The first problem is, a binomial variable has parameters n equal to 4 and p equal to 0.3. Write down the PMF and the probability terms. In this question, they have directly given or they have mentioned what is n and what is p. N is 4 and p is 0.3. They have asked to find out PMF and the probability terms. So let us assume given variable to be denoted by x. Then x follows binomial distribution with n equal to 4 and p equal to 0.3. This is how you read. X follows binomial distribution with parameters n equal to 4 and p equal to 0.3. This notation is nothing but it states as it follows, and you can write it as b x follows 4 comma 0.3. It is understood n is 4 and p is 0.3. Please adjust my handwriting. So now we know what is n, we know what is p, then we can write the PMF. So the PMF of binomial distribution is p of x equal to, in place of n substitute 4 and in place of p substitute 0.3, and q will be 1 minus p, which is 1 minus 0.3 is 0.7. Therefore the PMF of binomial distribution is 4cx 0.3 raised to x into 0.7 raised to 4 minus x, and x takes values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 because n is the last term, which is 4. Now we got the PMF. Along with this, they have asked to calculate the probability terms. Therefore the probabilities are, first we will calculate when x is 0, then we will see what is the probability when x is 1, when x is 2, when x is 3, and when x is 4. So you can see here I have written capital P, which denotes probability when x equal to 0. So P of x equal to 0 is equal to small p of 0, which is PMF. So if you go through the definition of probability mass function, you will understand the statement and why we are taking probabilities. So therefore P of x equal to 0 is P of 0. Now this is nothing but P of x, small p of x. In place of x we have taken 0. This is your PMF. Wherever x is there, you substitute x as 0 and simplify. You will get the probability when x is equal to 0. So I have explained for few problems how to calculate. For the remaining, you guys try to find out. So we will be having PMF as 4C0 0.3 raised to 0 into 0.7 raised to 4. So 4C0 can be written as 4 factorial divided by 4 minus 0 factorial into 0 factorial into 1. Anything raised to 0 is always 1. I hope you guys know this basic concept. Into 0.7 raised to 4. What you have to do is, in your calculator, you have to multiply 0.7 4 times. So it will be 0.7 into 0.7 into 0.7 into 0.7. If it was 0.7 raised to 2, then you have to multiply 0.7 2 times. So this is how you calculate powers. For those who don't know how to calculate powers, remember 0.7 or any term raised to 4 is given, then in your calculator you have to multiply that number of times. And always remember NC0 will be always 1. Here 4C0 is 1, 3C0 will be also 1. We will see how. So 4 factorial divided by 4 minus 0 is again 4 factorial. 0 factorial is always 1. So this 4 factorial will get cancelled and we will get the answer as 1. So 1 into 1 into 0.2401. When you multiply 0.7 4 times, you will get it as 0.2401. Therefore P of 0 is 0.2401. Similarly, let us see the probability when x equal to 1. So wherever x is there in the PMF, substitute x as 1. Therefore we will get it as 4C1 into 0.3 raised to 1 into 0.7 raised to 3, that is 4 minus 1 is 3. So now again calculate the combination. So 4C1 is 4 factorial divided by 4 minus 1 factorial into 1 factorial into 0.3 into multiply 0.7 3 times, we will get it as 0.343. So this is 4 factorial divided by 4 minus 1 is 3 factorial into 1 factorial. We know 4 factorial can be written as 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, but we will stop at 3 factorial because in the denominator we have 3 factorial. So we can calculate 3 factorial and 3 factorial. 1 factorial is 1, therefore we will get it as 4 into 0.3 into 0.343. Therefore probably when P is 1, the PMF is 0.4116. That is the probability of x equal to 1 is 0.4116. So I have solved when x is 2, then we will get, in place of x substitute 2, it will be 4c2 into 0.3 raised to 2 into 0.7 raised to 2. Always remember n and p and q will be constant, they will not change. Only thing that changes is your x values. So here x is 2, so 4c2 we can write it as 4 factorial divided by 4 minus 2 factorial into 2 factorial. 4 minus 2 factorial is again 2 factorial. So 0.3 into 0.3 is 0.09 and 0.7 you multiply 2 times, you will get 0.49. So we know now 4 factorial can be written as 4 into 3 into 2 factorial. Here we are writing up to 2 factorial because in the denominator we have 2 factorial. We can cancel that. So now 2 factorial, here you have another 2 factorial. 2 factorial is 2 into 1. So 2 ones are 2 twos are. So you got it as 6. So it is 6 into 0.3 into 0.49. You will get, when x equal to 2, the probability is 0.242646. Similarly, I want you guys to try for x equal to 3 and for x equal to 4 the probabilities. Here just substitute wherever x is there, you substitute 3, calculate the combination and multiply with the remaining terms, you will get the answer. So 4c3 can be written as 4 factorial divided by 4 minus 3 factorial into 3 factorial. So similarly 4c4 you calculate and just check, when you add these terms you will get summation p of x from x 0 to 4 as 1. Here in place of n we have 4. So using this note, which is the second note for today, you can verify, you will get the probability sum as 1. So let us see the next problem. An unbiased coin is tossed 6 times. Find the probability that the tosses result in 1 head only. Second sub question is 3 heads and 3 tails. The third sub question is 5 or more heads. So first, in this question you need to understand the given problem. Here they have asked to find out the probability that when you toss a coin, here the given coin is an unbiased coin or a fair coin. So you want to know what is the probability that when you toss a coin it results in only head and it results in 3 heads and 3 tails or 5 or more heads. So we will see one by one. So here the question, you can see it is always asked for heads. Whatever the question is asked, you have to take x as that event. Here we can denote x as number of heads obtained in 6 tosses. Then we know x follows binomial distribution with parameters n equal to 6 and p equal to 0.1 by 2. Here in the question nowhere they have mentioned what is p, but we have taken it as 1 by 2. If you remember in our probability classes, I have explained for tossing a coin always the probability of getting head or probability of getting tail will be 1 by 2 because it is an unbiased coin. When you toss, either you will get head or you will get tail. Therefore there is 50% chance of getting head and 50% chance of getting tail. So we are taking PS 1 by 2 or 0.5 or 50%. So here they have not mentioned, but they have mentioned in the question as unbiased coin. So always remember, when you're in the problem of tossing a coin, if the coin is unbiased, then p value will be 1 by 2. So now they have given n as 6 times. So for how many times you're doing that experiment will be your n. So here they have given n as 6 and x is whatever asked in question. So x is number of heads obtained in 6 tosses. We know x follows binomial distribution with parameters 6 and 1 by 2. We can write PMF now. Just substitute 6 and p value. So the PMF is 6cx 1 by 2 raised to x into the q is 1 minus p, which will get it as 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 raised to 6 minus x, and write the limit, which is x takes values 0, 1, 2 up to 6. Now we will solve the first sub question, which is probability of getting heads only. So what this question means, when you toss a coin for 6 times, all the tosses should result in head. The possibility is x equal to 6. Instead of directly giving x equal to 6, they have given probability of getting heads only. So now in place of x, substitute 6. Just like the previous problem, we want to calculate probability that x equal to 6, that is all the tosses result in head. Therefore it is 6c6 1 by 2 raised to 6 into 1 by 2 raised to 0, because 6 minus 6 is 0. So in your calculator, what you can do is first find out 1 by 2, which is 0.5. So multiply 0.5 6 times, and 66 is 1. So 1 into 0.015625 into 1. Therefore we got probability of getting heads only when you toss a coin 6 times is 0.0156. So this question is solved. Let us see the next question. They have given 3 heads and 3 tails. So it is obvious, when you toss a coin for 6 times, if you are getting 3 as heads, then remaining will be 3 as tails. Obviously, if they had given 2 heads, then the remaining 4 will be tails. But you have to calculate the probability only for x, not for tails, because in place of x we have taken number of heads obtained in 6 tosses, not of tails. So ignore whatever is given in the question about tails, just focus on the heads. So they have given 3 heads. So it will be probability of getting 3 heads and 3 tails is nothing but p of x equal to 3. When they had given all our heads, we had taken x equal to 6. Now we want only when 3 times we get heads, therefore p of x equal to 3. Wherever x is there, you substitute x as 3. Calculate the probability. First find out what is 6c3, then multiply 0.5 3 times and again 0.5 3 times. So it will be 20 into 0.125 into 0.125. Therefore we got probability of getting 3 heads and 3 tails is 0.3125. So the second sub question is solved. Let us see the third sub question now. The third sub question is 5 or more heads. So what does this mean? Either you can get 5 heads, or more than that is possibility is only you can get 6 heads. So it will be either you can get the probability of 5 heads or 6 heads. It is x is greater than or equal to 5, which is we have to calculate p of 5 plus p of 6. If they had given probability of getting 3 or more heads, then it would be probability of 3 plus probability of 4 plus probability of 5 plus probability of 6. So here they have asked what is the probability that when you toss a coin you will get 5 heads or 6 heads. So it is p of 5 plus p of 6. When place of x, first substitute 5, calculate that probability, plus in place of x substitute 6 and then find its probability. So it is 6c5 into 1 by 2 raised to 5 into 1 by 2 raised to 1, or 1 by 2 raised to 6, you can multiply it by 6 times. Then plus here x is 6, therefore in place of x substitute 6, it will be 66 into 1 by 2 raised to 6 into 1 by 2 raised to 0. So simplify and add. First you solve this term and separately you solve this term, and then you can add both to get probability of x greater than or equal to 5, which turns out to be 0.1094 approximately. So this is a very easy problems only if you understand what is given and what is to be taken. So let us see the remaining problems in the next class, but I want you guys to not just listen this videos, because this is a practical subject. Just by listening the video won't help for sure. What you have to do is you have to take down the problem and solve it each and every step. Only then you will understand. So this is not at all difficult. All you have to do is you have to substitute x, n and p and use the concept of combination and use your calculators. You will get the answer. So for today's class, I guess these two problems are more than enough. You solve these problems. We will see the remaining problems in the next class.